So as I was saying about the circle of fifths, I'm sure you've heard about it. It's a nice big circle. And as you go around that circle, you're really just building a system that helps you organize the 12 notes on the keyboard. If we started at C, which you don't often do, but we'll go chromatically from C to C sharp to D sharp to E to F sharp to G sharp to A sharp to B to C. A lot of these notes have enharmonics, which could be called one or the other. C sharp or D flat. You're right. D sharp or E flat. E, which could also be called F flat, but that's a little advanced for us. F sharp, or, you're right, G flat. This one is you're right, G sharp or A flat. I skipped right over G. A, it could be called A sharp, but it could also be called B flat. B and C. B could be called C flat. So, well, again, we won't talk about that for now. So we're talking about a C scale that incorporates all 8 notes, because the 8th one, of course, is just the octave. And you saw C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Well, every scale has a series of notes that goes from its tonic, its root, to an octave away. So now I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because I got to go up a circle of fifths, remember? Now I'll go to a G scale. The G scale will have, you're right, 1 sharp. I'll do that one again. That's F sharp. Now that we found F sharp, we'll just keep kind of traveling up the keyboard. Let's see, where did we start? We started on C, we went to G. G, we'll go to D. D is the next scale. How many do you think it has in it? A good guess would be 2 sharps. Let's find out. Now I'm just playing these, and if you played them by ear, you would agree with that sound. If I played it differently, you'd hear it, right? So sometimes you're self-correcting when you build your scales, but there is a method to it. When we were back at C, we didn't have any sharps and flats. When we went to G, the first sharp we added was, in our really good piano fingering, with our 4th finger. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The new sharp will always be added with your 4th finger. Now that we've got that little F sharp in there, when we go to D, we remember we've got F sharp. We've got to hold on to it, remember it, and add the new sharp, because we're in a scale now with 2 sharps. That's right, with your 4th finger. So I've got F sharp, and I added my new sharp with my 4th finger. Now I'm going to kind of go down here, because we both know that I went from C to G, G to D. What's the next one? A. So let's do it down here where you can see it. Now I have to remember, what were my sharps now? I added F sharp, and I added C sharp. Okay, so now I went from C to G, G to D, D to A. I'm going to build a scale in A. Let's see what those sharps are. I know I've got F sharp and C sharp. The C sharp came up. There's the F sharp, my new sharp with my 4th finger. You're right. So far we've built the scale of C, the scale of G, the scale of D, the scale of A. And they all sound beautiful, don't they? You will self-correct. If you make the mistake, you'll hear it. There is, of course, a method that you can use for whole steps and half steps, considering that every step you take on the piano that has a note in between is called a whole step. Any step you take on the piano that just goes to the very next note with nothing in between, that's a half step. A scale, of course, as we know, is a series of whole steps and half steps. So if you wanted to build it that way, it'll be consistently correct. The first step you take is a whole step, a half step, a whole step, a whole step, a whole step, and the last step of every scale is a half step.